Nothing whatsoever. It don't matter to me. Matter of fact, I ain't going to tell because I'm going to be up over there because I'm getting the hell away from them two. The dudes was just killed and they stood up. Now, I don't know how pissed off they're going to be when they do get up. And I don't know if they're going to ask, who did that to me? I don't know. I just don't want to be standing there and get an accidental something. No, I'm going to watch from over there. Boy, he about to tear them up right there. Yeah, I don't want to be too close to whatever that is because that's some serious thing. I know that it says that they are angels, you know, and when you deal with the fact of Enoch and Elijah, they weren't angels. They were men who were invited up to heaven. But they were not angels.
Valid point. But it shows how perfect Yahweh's law is because they're dead for 3 days, just as Jonah was in the vale of Welly, just as Yeshua was down in the grave, in hell, and then was resurrected. So it shows the order of Yahweh, how he always does things with these numbers of 3s and 7s.
Sanctification. When you deal with 3, that's sanctification. That is sanctification, to separate yourself from whatever that particular thing is. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to make a clarification when the brother said 3 days in the sepulcher, and he also mentioned hell, but 3 days in sepulcher, there's nothing that says he was in hell.
Well, hell is just a grave. A lot of times people get mixed up, and you do have to clarify within what that the sepulcher is just a grave. A lot of times people will take that hell and because they read that and don't understand that, because they didn't go and look up those words, they concoct the whole story. And you should see, they have whole hour-long programs on History Channel explaining that lie. And then he fought with the devil. Wait a minute. Whoa. Where'd that come from? All because they couldn't explain that one line, and then they mind, that's the danger, getting to thinking, and they mind visualized that. So they visualized the hour-long program that was a visual lie because they couldn't explain that one part. And they keep going on each time and making, I mean, you should see some of the documentaries. There's all of Adam had another wife, Lilith. And, you know, him and Lilith they was doing some all kind of stuff. Where you get that from? And who was old enough to tell that? That's what I need to know. Who was old enough, that's older than this book, to say Adam had another wife? But I tell you what, it's a 2-hour-long program on the History Channel. Got some nice graphics, too. They just lie up well. It looks good. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's just why I want to make that clarification, because you know how people do deviate with that word hell.
So right. Okay. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So the first thing Satan wanted to make sure he could do is kill off that holy seed. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Elohim and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness. This is Israel, where Israel going to have to go. Now, Israel is not going to willingly go in no wilderness, because we're not leaving cable TV and Central Air. Do not get it twisted. Cable TV and Central Air will be taken from us, and we will be forced into that wilderness. We will not go. There won't be making no flyers and say we're going to the wilderness on the 22nd. It's not going to happen. Jake ain't leaving nowhere until he's forced out. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she have a place prepared of Elohim, that they should feed her there 1,203 days. He's telling you how long we're going to be there once we get there. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night. And this is a situation that we allow sometimes with the things that we get off into. We allow Satan to stand before Yahweh and make accusations. Did you see that Esau? Did you see him? He supposed to be a servant, but look what he doing out down there hanging in the little club right there. Right? Everything you doing. Lucifer got one of his little angels standing there making them accusations about you. And every time you get off into something, he's making them little accusations. What are you doing? I thought you had that dude baptized. What are you doing down there? Right. You giving them a chance to blaspheme Yahweh's holy name. That's why he says, my holy name was blasphemed through you, when the people said that you are the children of Israel. 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. So in that short time, he's going to raise up a whole lot of commotion. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. So the first thing he want to do is persecute Israel. He ain't interested in everybody else. He want the woman that brought forth the man child. The man child came out of Israel. So he's persecuting that woman. Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half a time, 3.5 years, from the face of the serpent, which is the same that it was said earlier, 40 and 2 months. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Understand, when it's talking about Israel, we must return the same way we came, via the ships of Tarshish. This is how we got here on those long distance ships. You find out Tarshish is Spain. Spain was who built and had all of those long distance ships. And we are the only ones on the face of this earth that have become captives by way of ships that were sent all over the face of the earth. And Yahweh is going to have us return back from those ships, but don't get it twisted and think, you know, you're going to buy you a bass boat and go back to Israel. Because understand something. When he says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, why you think he casting out water? Because he's trying to drown her. Because she got to go back in them ships. So he going to try to drown and flip them boats over. So you think you got your little fishing boat and you going to go and a mile of water come up there. And here you go. Don't look good, bro. Don't look good. Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. But understand, that don't mean that it wasn't going to be tumultuous for you. You understand something, that water rise up. Man, we ain't used to being on no boat. We may throw up everywhere. That thing may shake all kind of stuff. The water, man, we not used to that. We used to solid ground, Jack. You know, Brother Ron Michael laughing because he done been on the boat, you know, so he want to make fun of us because he like a little deep sea, you know, so he gonna laugh at us. Yeah, Did y'all hear the little condescending? Oh my God, I've been on the sea. Well, thank you for nothing. Go ahead, sister.
I was just going to say that the Messiah and the disciples, in that particular instance where Yeshua walked on water, they went through that tomorrow. And it was his admonition to them, oh, ye little faith. Yep. You're going to have faith to get through that.
Very good point.
And we're going to make it through.
Very good point, my sister. Thank you for saying that. And that was a situation. You know, here it is. They scared to death. And he's, you know, he's looking like ain't nothing going on. What's wrong with y'all? Man, we about to die out here, man. No, you ain't. You should think you are. I had a little Volkswagen Jetta. I love to piece little pieces of cars together, and they just put like 8 cars together and make one. I had me a little raggedy car, and I was riding my teacher in it. We was going to drop something off one day, and I don't know what it was that came loose. I think it was a wheel bearing or something. And it started making the most god-awful noise, and we coming down 285. I am losing my mind. You know, because first of all, I don't want my car to break down with my teacher in the car. So I'm already feeling bad. I look over there. He is just as calm. He's looking at me. What is wrong with this boy? I'm like, Elder, don't you hear that? The tire about to come up. Boy, man, drive the car, man. And as that went about 1 exit, 2 exit, it's making god-awful noise. But whatever it was, it didn't fly off. And I'm telling you, this thing sounded like the tire was just finna get up and just get off the car. But it didn't. And I looked, and it was the strangest thing. He sat there just as calm. And we got all the way to the place. And he got right out the car. And I felt like the biggest fool of all time. I felt like the biggest fool. And he just looked at me to let me know. Yeah, you need to step your faith game up, son. Do. And walked in the building. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, just like you said, you know, stepping your faith game up. You look at many of the servants when you read about them, and then when you look at your own life, you ask yourself when you're in these problems, like, why? Why are you keep putting me through these things? I'm trying to be righteous, and you keep putting me through these trials. And then keep saving me at the last minute after you broke me all the way down to my feet. And you think about it like, man, how, if you didn't go through those things, when you get to the wilderness and everybody is freaking
oh, man. Right.
And everybody's freaking out, you're going to be like, man, y'all didn't bring me through all this stuff going out here to wander in the wilderness for 40 years?
Right. Right.
Because he already didn't show me, he obviously it ain't because of what I did.
Right. Right.
He want me around for something. So your faith game will step up because you are constantly understanding that it's not you.
Mm-hmm. Right. The Spirit worketh patience. But you have to have that time and spend that time within the Spirit, which understanding that this word is a spirit, spending your time dealing with these things. So when you do encounter them, you have some references to go back and read. It was the same thing that happened with Elijah and Elisha. Yeah, oh, we gonna die. Man, open up this dude's eyes so he can see these angels, man. So he can understand, man, we're not alone, man. We outnumbered, they gonna kill us. Please, man, I can't even concentrate with this dude crying in my ear. Right. But the Spirit worketh patience and dealing with those things, and us reading those things, we have examples to put here. So when we start to see things, we be like, oh. But see, understand the people that don't spend time with this Spirit and they don't spend time with this word, they don't have anything to refer that to. Even if they get it in their heart and it says, the Most High gonna take care of you. 5 seconds later, they say, well, maybe. Because they don't have anything to refer it back to. See, Yahweh says, I'm gonna bring those things back to your remembrance. But how can he bring them back to your remembrance if you never read it? He can't make you remember nothing you ain't never know. You gotta read it first. Then he can bring it back to your remembrance. Half of the stuff you don't remember now, just wait. When stuff go to blowing up, you're going to remember some things. Verse 17, chapter 14. Where did that come from? Right. Don't worry about what you remember now. Just give it a minute. Give it a minute. Ain't enough bombs went on the side of you yet. Right. Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was angry with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of Yeshua the Mashiach. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, people, but that is you. Okay? The remnant which keep the commandments of Elohim. Now, we know that Friday is the Sabbath day. It starts the Sabbath day at what we call Friday night and goes to Saturday night. And we know that that is the biggest party hour here. So this seems awfully unfair, but understand Lucifer has no desire to make war with people that he already has. Why would he war with the people that he already has control? So he's going to war with those that keep the commandments. So here it is, they out partying and BSing all night, and then Yahweh gonna have to protect us because Lucifer trying to kill off the people who keeping the commandments. So he's trying to kill off the people who keeping the Sabbath day. That's why it says we have to persevere. So when you look up and when this thing gets really, really ugly, he's gonna be after us because he's trying to make, he's trying to turn Yahweh into a lie. If he can get Yahweh to lie one time, the whole thing will crumble. So he's got to make one thing. With all of this that's said, all he got to do is make Yahweh lie one time. That's what and he's doing everything he can. With everything that he tried to do to Yeshua. It is said that he got angels to bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Why don't you just jump off? Why don't you just jump off? He wanted to try Yahweh. Says, command these stones that they be made bread. You know, just test Yahweh. Just go ahead and tempt him. Do something. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 34. We are going to see some very grievous things before all of this comes about. Some very grievous things. But then again, why would you have to persevere if it wasn't going to be no struggle? You don't have to persevere through good stuff. Whoever said, I got to persevere through this box of chocolates? That don't make good sense. Now do it. Why would a box of chocolates be grievous? No, it's going to be some grievous things that we're going to have to make it through. And it's going to be grievous just seeing your people die. These people don't have a clue. They don't know what's going on. And some of them, most of them, are pointed to destruction and there ain't nothing they can do about it. Because the blood of beasts are shed to make an atonement for sin. Beasts are men without law spiritually. So spiritually, those will be beasts whose blood will be shed to cleanse up the earth. So, Yah willing, we can live on a cleansed earth. But there always had to be blood to make an atonement for sin and cleanse that unclean area that was made unclean by that sin. So that's why it's so much blood that has to be shed on the earth. He's got to clean it. It only gets cleansed by blood. Go ahead, brother.
It's like you were saying before, sometimes people don't respect things they've been given and don't understand. But if they have to work for it, it means more to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said a mouthful there, bro. You said a mouthful there. Yeah, let one of these little teenagers get a job and let them buy him a shirt. You're going to find it folded up, hanging in the closet. I buy it. He step on it, wipe his shoes off with it. Because that's my money. That's different. That's different. Oh, no, daddy bought this. I didn't have to do. But when somebody got to clock in themselves and buy it, oh, man, please. Won't even let nobody else come near. Don't touch that. I bought that with my money. Oh, so it's better now. Right. Ezekiel 34, verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus says Yahweh Elohim unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? And we know we have a big problem with this. We have some of the richest preachers around They got airplanes and Bentleys and Benzes. They got cars that got cars. I mean, cars so big. Cars that got sofas and curtains in it. And we love to have it so. The bigger the pastor's car is, the more holy we feel. That's my preacher right there. Yeah, the one in the car that looked like a spaceship. Yeah, that one. That's my pastor. All right. Make it seem like he's holier if he drive that big car. Okay. Verse 3. You eat the fat, and you clothe you with the wool. You kill them that are fed, but you feed not the flock. They accept all their money, but they don't give them any understanding of this word that's written in this book. But they get all of their money, and the people love to have it so. Verse 4. The diseased have you not strengthened, neither have you healed that which was sick. Neither have you bound up that which was broken. Neither have you brought again that which was driven away. Neither have you sought that which was lost. But with force and with cruelty have you ruled them. And how is it not cruel that you're going to take poor people's money, promising them a blessing? You know, got them thinking that Yahweh's word is some kind of a spiritual lotto where they put $7 in and get 49 out. That is ruling with cruelty. And it's the poorest people that give the most money. People who cannot afford it. But they believe that they're putting a down payment on blessing. And why wouldn't they believe it? They leave one church and go to another church and he says the same thing. And they leave that church and go to another church and he says the same thing. And so on and so on. Well, they done heard the same lie 15 times, so maybe it's true. Right. No, you just heard 15 lies. Go ahead.
I just wanted to touch on verse 4 again, where it says, the disease have you not strengthened, neither have you healed that which was sick. I mean, in them big congregations, you can ask how many of them, when they sick, that pastor actually came to the church and prayed for them. I remember being younger, those things used to happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't think that happens anymore, not with these big congregations. Look if he even knows your name.
Oh, no, he definitely does not know your name. And I knew some people that tried to go and even speak to one of those big pastors, brother. And two big bodyguard looking fellas came out of the darkness and let him know, don't walk up, brother. Don't walk up. You walk up, but you're gonna limp back. What? Right. No, you ain't gonna walk up on them. It's not going. You're not even gonna get a chance to discuss things. And you know, and how is it people can offer up prayers and supplications for people that they don't know and don't know anything about what they're going through? So it gets a little serious. I think I got you coming. Go ahead, sister.
If you got the big bucks, you can get in.
Yeah. Of course you can.
That's where you take your calls. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. If you got the big money, yeah, of course you get in. Oh yeah. The little man don't stand a chance. But see, that's why they used to have the little house that was in the back of the church. That was where the pastor used to stay. So everybody had access to the preacher. So if it was a situation, they would go and could talk to him and all of those things, and he could pray for him according to what's written in the book. It says, if a man gets sick, let him call the elders of the congregation and they will pray for him and do all those things. This setup is about money, because Yahshua went in and turned over tables and said, my father's house is not a house of merchandise, right? Yeah, but they got an ATM machine in these churches. Right. Go over and turn over that ATM machine. Go ahead, you bad. Which one of y'all gonna do it? Yeah. Call free at last bail bonding before you go. Go ahead. Because believe you me, you going to jail if you do what Yahshua did and turn over them that money changing table. Oh yeah, you going to jail. You can believe that, because they don't play about their money. Verse 5, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. And how is that? Because people go from church to church and they hear the same lie. So now they get to the point where they don't want to deal with no organized religion, no church, no anything, because they've been victimized so much. Why? Because of the shepherds. And we have the same thing, and Hebrew Israelite people ain't no worse, ain't no different. Because some of them have victimized people so bad, people come and hear the word, hear the truth, find out the greatness of Yahweh, and then get victimized by a shepherd, and then don't want to deal with the word no more. Verse 6, my sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. Therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. As I live, says Yahweh Elohim, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd. Neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. So you have shepherds giving $500,000 gifts to people that he want to impress. Meanwhile, it's hungry people within the congregation. Right. And understand what it says. They became prey to the beast of the field. The field is earth. The beasts are those people out there without law. So when he left those people, he left them victimized from them beasts that's out there that don't keep Yahweh's law. Verse 9, therefore, O you shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh Elohim, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. For thus says Yahweh Elohim, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out, as a shepherd seeks out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of the places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries and will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and in all the inhabited places of the country. Now, he says, I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries wherein we were scattered. All right. And will bring them to their own land. Who are all these people claiming to be Israel? And they already got their own land. If you got your own land and your own land is Spain, then how your own land gonna be Israel? You got two own lands? Verse 14, I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, says Yahweh Elohim. I will seek that which was lost and bring again that which was driven away, and will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick, but I will destroy the fat and the strong. I will feed them with judgment. And as for you, O my flock, thus says Yahweh Elohim, behold, I will judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the he-goat. Seemeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good pasture, but you must tread down with your feet the residue of your pastures, and to have drunk of the deep waters, but you must foul the residue with your feet. And as for my flock, they eat that which you have trodden with your feet, and they drink that which you have fouled with your feet. So they leave off for us the little part that they done toyed with. Therefore, thus says Yahweh Elohim. And ain't that what it is? When you deal with the word is cherry picked in the biggest congregations, and our people have gotten so used to it that they think that's normal. And it's the part that they done found, they done picked over the word, picked out all the good stuff, and then they're going to give you just one or two lines. Right. They giving you that which they done fouled with their feet. You done disassembled the word and you going to give me a piece of it? You took out all the good lines that could help me grow spiritually. You skipped those. And then you want to give me the part you done fouled up. Right. Yahweh going to make them pay for that. They going to pay for that. Go ahead, bro.
You brought this up in another class, side one, but verse 13 downward. This is what Yeshua was telling his disciples and so forth when he's sending them to the lost. When he says in Matthew 15:24, that I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Mm-hmm. Collect his brothers and sisters and all that worship his father. Mm-hmm. He's saying right here, he's going to bring them out from among the people. You know, he's called his own people to him instead of holding them out, you know. And